Hello beloved consumers, thank you for joining me for Uniconfessions. My name is Unicole Unicron and today I'm here in this beautiful park that I found near my house, just down the street, to talk about crystals. And a lot of people have asked me to do this video and I don't know why I haven't done it because I love crystals! Okay, so this is about how to use magic crystals for your own purposes of divination, and obviously the crystal ball is the most famous example of this. You've got the gypsy women usually like gazing over the crystal ball, and how that works generally as far as divination goes. This is just a small one, but crystal balls are pretty expensive. How it works is it's called scrying, and scrying is a form of divination where you can look into fire or you can look through crystals, and you can gain some kind of understanding or some kind of meditation through that. The way that I understand it is that you would be, it's almost like tea leaf reading in the sense that you'd be seeing images or you'd be intuiting information as you're doing this. So with a crystal ball, as you're gazing through it, you can do this with any crystal actually, is you just think of yourself as a tiny point of light almost, traveling through it. And what rainbows do you run into? What different landscapes do you run into? What do you find? What do you see as you go through it? So that's scrying, and that's just one form of divination. But the rest of crystals and all the crystal magic and all the crystal energy that people are talking about come from the actual stones themselves. And there's a few different things involved with that. What type of stone, sometimes where it was sourced can matter, and then also its shape and its color and clarity. And also some stones, it's so strange, but you wouldn't be able to tell them apart from any other stone if you looked at them, but as soon as you touch them, you get like a zap of energy. And they are just like super powerful. So why is that? What makes crystals magic? What does it mean to have a magic crystal? What is that all about? The way I see it is that the earth is magic. The earth is full of beautiful energy that we can feel and experience, and everything about the earth, everything from the earth has magic. And crystals are just condensed earth magic. I don't know what makes crystals more special than regular rocks. Maybe just because they're sparkly and we place value on them and that makes them more valuable. I'm certain it's more than that though. I don't know why. I read in one channeled text that crystals are, some crystals are from space. So we might be getting the energy of other planetary systems, of other planets, when we are holding and interacting with crystals in a meditative way. So quartz is your basic crystal. That's what most people think of. You've got quartz crown, quartz necklace. Crystals are amazing if you want to have a quartz by your heart. It'll just kind of amplify your heart. Wherever you put these crystals and what you use them for, it will do these things for you. The crown quartz for me helps me channel and receive information, and it helps my thoughts be pure and clear from wherever I'm pulling them in from. And so quartz is like a really good stone. Quartz can come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes and clarity. You can get pointed quartz. I'm going to show you guys a few of my pieces that I have because I am obsessed with crystals. So obviously you can have them in a crystal ball shape, or you can have them in a terminated point shape. This is pretty much your standard classic crystal. As you can see, I've got this big crystal here. This is a great crystal. It fits right in the palm of my hand, and I really feel like I can do a lot with it while I'm holding it. But also, don't be fooled, because crystals, the size of a crystal doesn't always mean that it's more powerful or less powerful. For instance, this crystal is one of my most powerful crystals, and it's very small. But when I hold it, I feel I feel a lot of power from it. Quartz is good for sending. It's basically an amplifier. So anything that you want to be sending out, it's good for any spell, it's good for any kind of energy. Anything that you want to be doing, quartz will help you do. Quartz is a great stone, definitely an essential for any beginner. In a Unicult Supply Co, we have crystal starter kits. They come with quartz, rose quartz, and amethyst. So rose quartz is our next one. This is the piece of rose quartz I just got today. It's like one of the most beautiful pieces I've ever had in my possession. It's like absolutely stunning, and it's so rich with good energy. Rose quartz is good for the heart and all of that emotional joy. So really anything that you associate with with this color is really the best way that I can say it. So a lot of people are like wondering when they first get started with crystals, how will I ever memorize all of this information? How will I ever internalize what every stone means? It seems impossible. I don't know which books are best. I don't know what to read. I don't know if everybody's right. Does this stone have properties and this stone doesn't? How does it work? So what I can say to you is play with them. I'm the type of person, I read a book and I think that that's going to give me all the answers, and then I don't memorize all the answers and I get frustrated. But if you love crystals and you just start playing with them, and you go to the crystal shop and you talk with the people who work at the crystal shop, and you just start with a few introductory stones and work them into your reality, then you're going to become a crystal expert. You just will. And one of the funny things about me trying to do this video is like I intuit a lot of my information from my stones, and so I'm not necessarily as like book learned with crystals as it might seem, because I just have spent a lot of time with them, and I'll reference other people's writing and stuff to compare how I feel about it. But just know that a stone offers to you whatever you feel it offers to you. If you have a piece of like granite and you're like, oh, I love this piece of granite, like go for it. Like that's a magic piece of granite then. That's up to you. It doesn't have to be like you know, the most expensive crystal in the shop. It can be something that you just gravitate towards. So rose quartz is a beautiful, 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 beautiful stone. Great to have around you at all times, especially if you're feeling sad or need a little bit of extra love. Rose quartz is really, really good for that. Amethyst, I only brought this amethyst, but the ones that we sell at Unicult Supply Co. are chunks of amethyst. So amethyst comes in this really cool, it can either come as a cluster like this, or it can come as a rough point. Basically the rough points are just if this was bigger and then one of these little pieces broke off, and that's when you get one of those rough points. Amethyst is so cool. Amethyst is kind of spacey. Oh, it's just so rich with like good energy. It's good for headaches, and it's very calming, and I want to say grounding, but how does grounding and spacey work together? You know, it's just this kind of like, it's like this equalizer of like both. Like it just really balances out all the energies. Amethyst is amazing. So we do include that in our crystal starter kit at Unicult Supply Co. Citrine is really cool. Citrine comes in two forms. It comes both man-heated and then also natural citrine. Natural citrine is going to be a lot clearer and lighter. It almost looks like yellow quartz. But man-made citrine, they just heat it up. They heat up amethyst. So this is a piece of amethyst that's been heated up and turned into citrine. And it's so strange because you wouldn't think it would have that different of properties from amethyst just from undergoing that process, but it does. Citrine, seriously, I can't even like talk about it or hold it without giggling. Like, citrine's kind of like that sunshiny energy. It's very giggly, it's very funny. It'll make your whole like being like titter. Like it's just like, I can't even hold this stone for very much longer because it makes me so happy to like have that. Okay, then there's really cool stones like labradite. Labradite's like a magic, it's like got magic secrets, and so that's kind of how I associate like its energy, because if you just look at it, it just looks like a black stone, but if you start to like move it around in the light, it's got all of these rainbows. This one has like some lightning that you can only unlock if you like move it in a very certain way, in a very certain light, and it's got this big blue streak of lightning that goes through it. So it's really good for like meditating. It's like a really good meditative stone just to remember the magic that's underneath everything, and so you can just like gaze at it and just think of all the things in your life that you don't realize are magic. And if you look at them in the right way, in the right light, they become magical. So labradite's a really fascinating stone for that reason. Stones can also be used for protection, and that's why I went to the crystal store today, because as you guys probably saw in my last video, I am having a little bit of, I need a little bit of psychic protection lately, and that's fine and that's great, and everybody can use these stones for that reason. One of my favorites that a crystal healer told me to get in Niwot, Colorado, she was amazing. She told me to get a piece of garnet. So this is just rough garnet. It's pretty affordable, kind of hard to find sometimes. Not everybody always carries these in their shops, but this is a really, really good stone for protection. It's very grounding, it's very safe, it's very just it's just very protecting, and it's not like, I like it because it's not black. A lot of times the darker the color of the stone, the more like protective qualities they'll have. Which brings us to smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is basically quartz, but it's got like a phantom or a shadow in it. At least I think that's the case. So this is a piece of smoky quartz. This was mined here in Washington, in King County. So it's really cool to have this piece and have it be in my possession. But smoky quartz is really good for protection. I was losing my wallet all the time a few years ago when I was fighting with money, and my friend who is amazing, Molly Baker, she's an amazing artist. She told me to start carrying around a piece of smoky quartz. She mailed me a piece of smoky quartz. I actually have it. It's in my wallet. It's still in my wallet because I haven't lost my wallet in years, you guys. This is like the same piece I've kept in my wallet for like years and years and years. And it's this amazing piece of smoky quartz. And I've just had this in my wallet the whole time, and I've never lost it. And so I have her to thank for that. I lost my wallet like seriously 3 times in a month, until I put that in there, and now it is good to go. So smoky quartz is amazing. Again, kind of harder to find, but go to your crystal stores, ask them about it, see what they've got. I did just get this piece of obsidian. This piece of obsidian is dope. I love the way it's shaped. It reminds me of a talk that I just saw with Christina Martin. We watched Gemini Brett speak about a bunch of things, but he was talking about how the masculine and the feminine interact, and how the masculine is this really like square energy and the feminine is a circle, and the masculine's trying to define the circle and the circle just is. And so that's why I was really drawn to the shape of this piece, because like it's basically calling upon the masculine and the feminine energies of this obsidian to protect me and to keep anything negative out of my reality. Like I said, different shapes of crystals work really well. So I've got this like badass, like this is what I use for like all of my money spells. It's like pretty obviously like a money stone, you know, like pretty good for putting on top of a $100 bill and just manifesting money. Don't always have a $100 bill laying around, but sometimes I try to have that. Fluorite is super cool. Fluorite is good for like telepathy, connecting to your guides, a lot of things. I worked pretty closely when I first learned about crystals. I worked pretty closely with a really big piece of fluorite, and that's where I learned a lot of my techniques from. I find I have this beautiful fluorite ball, but I find that I don't know, it's not as conducive to this stone to have it in this sphere shape. So I do love this stone, but I don't know, there's something about the different shapes and how they interact with each stone. So one of the best ways to feel the energy of crystals is just to go to your local crystal shop and pick them all up. Pick them all up in your hand and just go into a little meditation and see what you feel, and see how that is. At Unicult Supply Co. we also sell these prayer beads made out of all crystals. So this one's made out of quartz and amethyst, and the way I use these is just to send energy out. You can also wear these as necklaces or as headpieces. Really cool stuff. And then there's selenite. I just got this for Rose Quartz's cage. It reminded me of a unicorn horn. So selenite's really cool. It's actually really affordable. So if you're just getting started with crystals and you want some bigger pieces, check out what's available to you as far as selenite goes. It is fragile, so you have to be careful with it. But it's connected to the moon, and it's connected to women, and it also lights up in the sunlight and in the moonlight really nicely. Sometimes they put like lights underneath of it and make it light up all bright. So if you want to learn more about crystals, play with them, check out Unicult Supply Co. for your crystal starter kits for the amethyst, rose quartz, and regular quartz. They're all usually about this big, the pieces that you get with that. And it's super affordable, $7.77. So I just want everybody to be playing with crystals. So check out Unicult Supply Co. We've also got a few pieces of garnet right now, and a few of those prayer beads. So I hope that helped you understand what crystals can do and some of the properties of the very basic ones. Unicorn bless.